All right, thank you all again for your visiting here tonight, getting to know the candidates again. This debate put on by the Westside Coalition and the League of Women Voters of Salt Lake City. Just wanted to let you know again, this is a focused, fast Q&A discussion. The questions have been submitted by Westside community members to the League and the Westside Coalition. And this is Salt Lake School Board Seat 1 between Bryce Williams and Jeremy Anderson. And we're going to get started with the questions right away. Question number 1. How do you propose to provide an equitable education to a diverse student population? This is a 1-minute response, and we are going to start with Bryce Williams on this question.
Yes, the way to provide an equitable education for a diverse variety of students is that we really need to understand the lived experiences of the students that we're representing. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach to students. We need to get to know them, their family experiences, the things that they struggle with, the things that are good in their lives as well, and then we take those and we have conversations and we work together as a community to address those.
Thank you. Jeremy Anderson.
Yes. In order to provide an equitable education for diverse students, we need to ensure that every student is getting the curriculum that they need to succeed in our world and in our economy. And it's very important that as we provide that education, we be connecting with the local community and with the families. And similar to what Bryce said, we need to involve the families. We need to make sure that we are tapping into the individual experiences of the students.
Thank you both very much. The next question, how can you recruit, support, and retain teachers in West Side schools? This is a 1-minute response we seek of you. We're going to start with Jeremy Anderson.
One of the most important ways that we can recruit and retain teachers is to really help them succeed with their students. And to do that, we need to strengthen our families in the district. We need to be connecting through the school board with local organizations and communities to support families so that our students can really succeed. Because until we connect with these families and strengthen them, we'll continue to see many of our students struggle and fail at school. Because there's more to their lives than school, and we need to support them in all those ways.
Thank you. Thank you. Bryce Williams, 1 minute.
The way that we recruit and retain teachers, first and foremost, we need to pay teachers more. Our teachers in our district are often having to find second and third jobs. The price of housing in Salt Lake City is going up, and teachers are not able to stay here. Additionally, we also need to look at other incentives outside of compensation for teachers. In terms of regular pay, we also need to incentivize and pay teachers for the professional development opportunities that they need to have to serve our students. Additionally, teachers also need to be trusted to do the job that they're hired to do, and other political influences do not need to get in the way.
Thank you both very much. The next question submitted is, in an increasingly polarized political environment, how will you keep the board focused on educating our children? I'm going to give this to Bryce Williams to start with.
Yes, there's definitely polarization in school boards, in the Salt Lake City School Board. The way that we keep focused on the students in our district is, again, to have the conversations with the families, have the conversations with the students, and know what they're going through. Part of that is having conversations with families, it's having conversations with teachers. It's really coming together as a community to have a dialogue on what is going on. Any personal situations that are going on within the board need to be put aside. We need to trust educators to provide the best quality education for our teachers, or for our students. We need to trust our teachers and just come together as one, not to buy into the situations or politics within the board.
Thank you. Jeremy Anderson, 1 minute.
We need to build strong local relationships. It starts with building relationships with our constituents, with the people that are in our areas as board members, and then it extends to building relationships on the board so that we know each other, we know our differences of opinion, and we respect each other. And we can use our differences to strengthen our district as a whole. There is strength in diversity, but we have to know each other and have mutual respect before we see that strength. And so the way that we resist the very strong political forces in our nation right now is to strengthen those relationships at the local level.
Thank you. Next question submitted by Westside residents. What experience do you have related to the public school system? We're going to start with Jeremy Anderson, 1 minute.
So my experience with public school system has been somewhat unique. I was homeschooled growing up, and I spent some time in high school in some public school classes. I was astounded. I loved my teachers. I had amazing teachers. So I almost became a teacher myself, but ended up studying education policy instead. I love education. I love learning and teaching, and I love seeing the development of the young people as they learn and they grow. And I will complete a master's in education policy in December.
Thank you. Bryce Williams, 1 minute.
Yes, my experience in the public school system, I'm a product of the Salt Lake City School District. I attended local schools here in the precinct I'm running to represent, including Backman Elementary, Northwest Middle School, and West High School. I also served for a number of years as a board member on the West High Alumni Association, 2 years as president, and during that time I was able to raise over $1 million in scholarships with my fellow board members, so I do take pride in that. I'm also an educator myself. I work at the University of Utah as an administrator, but I also teach, and the work that I do is focus a lot on the connection between K-12 education and pipelines to higher education. In addition, I attend all the local school community council meetings and listen to my constituents there.
All right, thank you. Lastly, we'd like for you to give us a quote that reflects your beliefs, your values, or your priorities. Or if you don't have a quote handy, maybe someone who inspires you, somebody who inspired you possibly to get into public service. This is a 15-second response, and we're going to start with Bryce Williams.
Yes, I have a quote prepared. It's from Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning, staying together is a progress, and working together is success. This is my whole mantra, that we have to work together in the public education system.
Thank you. And Jeremy Anderson.
Family is the first school for young children, and parents are powerful models. I think that we need to enlist the strength of our families.
Thank you both. Let's give our candidates a round of applause. And of course, they will be available afterward here to ask questions. That is the end of our candidate Q&A. I'd like to thank all of our candidates and of course you, Westside residents, for showing up, getting involved, and getting to know the candidates in these very important elections. Please feel free to reach out to all the candidates and raise questions that you have. Visit their websites, check out their Facebook pages, other social media to learn more. Be sure to stop by the League of Women Voters table to find out about key election dates and deadlines. Check your voter registration status and register to vote. And of course, the tables are around where you can pick up more resources about these candidates and voter resources to help you make an informed decision. Most importantly, make sure that you have a voting plan, and make sure you encourage others to do the same and get out and vote. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening.